Hi, it's Dr. Hood. I want to talk about the 80-20 rule and how it applies to your diet. The 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, is that most results are determined by a small number of causes, and it applies to a lot of things in marketing, in business, in sport, but also applies to your daily life. For example, if you think about work, 80% of your time is spent doing 20% of tasks. Usually these are the more routine tasks. For example, in my work, 80% of my time is spent doing routine operations, the ones that are quite frequent, and less time is spent doing larger, more complicated operations. More time is spent in clinics seeing routine cases. More time is spent in an emergency situation seeing, again, the more routine cases, such as people with abdominal pain, people with simple abscesses, for example. And if you apply that, it also applies to the clothes that you wear. As another example, 80% of the time you will wear 20% of the clothes that you own. Most of the time you'll only wear a small selection, and then most of the clothes you'll wear less frequently. So how does that apply to your diet? Well, if you apply the 80-20 rule, and 80% of the time you eat 20% of your list of foods that you like eating and that are good for you, that is a recipe for success. If you try to vary your diet too much, simply for the sake of varying your diet, that can lead you to overcomplicate things and can lead you to losing your sort of motivation and willpower, and reduce the chances of you eating healthily for longer, consistently. If, however, you restrict what you eat to a small number of ingredients for most of what you eat, 80% of the time, then you can choose a healthy protein, particularly animal protein, specific animal protein. For example, I choose beef and chicken as my main animal protein, and then choose a non-starchy vegetable. I stick mainly to kale, spinach, and broccoli. And this doesn't mean I don't eat other sources of protein, doesn't mean I don't eat other non-starchy vegetables, but I stick to these for most of my meals, particularly during the working week, as that is when you're going to be able to take control of your health the most. When you're able to reduce the number of distractions, because it's not a weekend, there's more structure to your working week. And if you concentrate on a small number of ingredients, non-starchy vegetables, healthy protein, added fats, minimize the carbs, don't worry about variation too much if most of what you eat is already nutrient dense, that's how you're going to ensure success. And if you think about it, even if you don't eat healthily, you still most of the time will eat a small number of foods for most of the time. So the 80-20 rule, applies in all aspects of your life. Apply it to your diet, and you only need to eat these nutrient-dense, low glycemic index, low inflammatory foods 80% of the time, or for 80% of your meals, and you will significantly improve your metabolism, significantly help you get lean and stay lean, energetic and fit, and ensure consistency.